Hey there everybody, it's the Marvelous Manfrog here, and today we will be reviewing the Siege War for Cybertron Starscream. Before we take a look at the figure, let's take a look at the packaging. Right here you can see it's a Siege box. Now I've had him out of the box for a while, so I don't have all the interior pieces in there that would hold him together, but that's fine. We can just take a look at some of the art here. A wonderful, cool spread of Starscream right there, and some details on the back showing how many steps for the transformation, and showing off some of the other products. So with the packaging out of the way, there's not much to look at, so we will begin with the figure. Taking a look at Starscream, he's just a really good figure. I am a big fan of this sculpt work. All the tiny little detail lines, the mechanical detail, he's just covered in it. It's fantastic. I'm less a fan of his painting. Now, the red and the blue and the gray color scheme that he goes with, I love that. That's classic G1 Starscream. I don't have any problem with the paint they use or the lack of paint they use for those areas. What bugs me a little bit is these silver and like kind of war-torn effect they paint on him. Oh, he has it on the arms too. The war-torn effect they paint on him. This is something they do for pretty much all of the Siege figures. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. I think it just takes away a little bit from the fun of the toy. I realize that it's part of like the effect. It's supposed to make him look war-torn, beaten down. I just prefer if it wasn't there, but it is by no means a deal breaker for me. This is still a fantastic Starscream figure, rich with posability. And on the account of posability, I'm going to do it a little different than I did in my last video. I want to try something new. I'm going to just kind of talk about the posability as I go, instead of giving it its own individual segment, and then you guys can let me know in the comments which one you liked more. The last time where I gave it its own segment, or this time where I'm going to kind of split it up throughout the review. So this guy comes with a couple accessories, and I've already got them attached onto his body. Right here on his arm, which has kind of a butterfly joint, a double bend at the elbow, and a rotation at the wrist. Rotation at the wrist. We can see that I've attached his first of two null rays. Now these don't have to be attached on his arm. I dropped it. He can hold it in his hands to be kind of a gun. There we go. Doesn't want to fit super well. There we go. So he can kind of hold it in his hand like a gun, but I prefer the classic G1 look where he's got it in his shoulder there. And, oh, he also has a port right here that it can fit into, but it's kind of a snug fit, so I like to keep it in the shoulder there. He's got some cool fets at his legs right here. We have the toe and the ankle, not toe and the ankle, the toe and the heel, which can bend in on both feet to kind of give him the look of flight. And you can see there when I pull up that bend at the knee and the two bends at the hips, you can kind of see that I can make it look like he's flying in the air, which is helped out by the two butterfly fet wings on his back that also have some rotations to them. And then we can see if I hold him up just right in the light, it's kind of hard to tell on this guy. Maybe you can just kind of see you got some light piping in the head there. I can't really bring the light much closer, but you can kind of see it. And that head is also on a ball joint that allows for some rotation, a little bit of up, and not really any down at all. But this is a transformer, so we'll take a look at his transformation too. To start off his transformation, I'm going to go ahead and remove the null rays. We'll put those aside for now. And I always like to start with the feet just because I think they're easy. So I fold the feet up just like this, like we were doing when it was flying, and then push this forward and bend the knees down. This will kind of get him out of the way for what we need to do later. Next, I like to move to the backpack, fold up the wings, and you're going to have to try and pull apart right here. Do you see that little tab that connects there? You're just going to want to pull up and slide it out, and do that on both sides. Pull up. There we go. And that should disconnect the back and allow you to slide the panels forward, just like this. And then those same tabs that were attaching them to the body, those will help them clip together. And there we have the front of our Cybertronian skiff. Next, what I like to do is fold this panel right here. It has a little notch there that pegs in perfectly on the back of the head. It can be a little bit of a, there we go, angle it in just like that. And then tilt the head backwards. Then we'll come down to the chest right here and pop that off. and that'll just bend up just like that. And when you do it, it'll come out like this, and it'll allow you to push the head all the way in. There you go. From there, I like to finish what you do with the legs. So come to the legs. I shouldn't have had you bend them up, I'm sorry. Straighten them back out and just completely rotate his hips. Bend the leg here. This part of the leg can push in, just like that. So you want to push in on that, and they just trying to tab in right there. Nothing really holds them in place, but these knee joints are strong enough that you really shouldn't have any problem. And there. Now we have the legs attached. Now we'll just tilt the nose cone down, and we'll leave that alone for now, and move on to the arms. As you probably saw while I was trying to pose the arms earlier, these, of course, now that I want to do it, it won't. There we go. These will pop open just like that, and you can just rotate the hand inside there. And at the same time you're doing that, you're just going to want to collapse it down and close it up. Do that for both sides. So open up, rotate in, collapse down, and close. And you'll see right here on the side of the leg, there are these two little pegs right there. Those will actually put into these two little holes on the arm. So butterfly joint down the arm, rotate, and just make sure to slide those in, just like that. See? Do that on both sides. And now we have the arms attached. Last thing you're going to want to do, sorry about that, bring down the wings, clip them in underneath here, just like that. And then those wings will also plug into the hands. So you should hear a little, you should be able to feel a little click as it goes down. Then we have this little nose cone, not nose cone, little thrusters right here, sorry. Unpeg that, slide it down, peg that in, and finally we'll take that chest plate, push it up, peg it in, and there we go. The Cybertronian jet mode for Starscream. And there we go. Here we have Starscream and his Cybertronian, Cybertronian jet mode there. And as you can see, I have pegged the null rays into little holes down here, but you can also keep them on the arms. That looks fine. I just like it better on the wings. But yeah, I've attached him to, well, I haven't really attached him. I've set him on my little display stand here. And he looks fantastic, especially in the air. This is the first Starscream figure I've ever owned, and I will say that it was a good experience with this guy. I enjoy him a lot. I think he looks fantastic. I still have a bit of the problem. You can see right here, it looks like the paint's chipped. That's how it's supposed to look. I'm not a big fan of that look, but I don't think it's bad. I think it's a fine look for this figure. If I had to have one other complaint with it, though, I wish they could have done more to hide the legs here. Because it does, to me, kind of just look like Starscream's crouching, as you can kind of clearly see the legs. But I don't have that much of a problem with it. What I do like, though, is the feet right here on the back turn into those awesome-looking jets. And if you have some of the Siege War for Cybertron effect parts, you can actually plug them into the feet to make it look like he's thrusting and flying around. I don't have any of those. This is actually the only Siege figure I currently have, though I'm looking at getting possibly Siege Optimus Prime. I'm not sure about that yet. But for a Siege figure, I like this one quite a bit. Now let's get him back into his robot mode for my final verdict on this guy. I almost forgot to do the size comparisons on this guy, so let's take a look at that real quick. He looks to be about 7.5 inches tall on the ruler system there. And let's see how he scales with some of my other Transformers figures. Here we have Power of the Prime's Inferno, just a little bit taller than him there. And we've got the Titan's Return, Octane. And they're actually just about the same size, with Octane's little shoulder doohickeys, giving him the advantage on the height there. And then we have a good look at the Planet X more. Oh, no, we'll save that for the next review. But yeah, overall, that's how big he scales up with most of my Transformers figures. Final thoughts on this guy. He's good, especially for the size and class of figure that he is. I think he's really good. I'm still not a fan of that paint scheme, and I think that's going to be the one thing that really takes it down for me. The paint scheme and those legs in the alternate mode, I think, are pushing Starscream down to about a 3.5 out of 5, maybe a 4. I'm a little back and forth on that, but Yeah, he's really good. I really like him. It's just that paint scheme and those LEDs that are keeping him from getting a full 5-star review. Speaking of my review system, what do you think of a 5-star system? I'm trying to decide if I want to do that, if I want to do out of 10. Out of 10 will give me a bit more leeway to get more specific, but let me know in the comments down below what you think I should do. But until then, look out for another video. I'm planning on releasing one video every week, probably on a Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. And then take a look out for my next review, the Planet X Moors, another Starscream figure that might just be my new favorite Starscream. Please like and subscribe, and look out for more videos. Sorry for a bit of a shorter video this week, guys. School's been catching up to me with all the quarantine stuff going on, so hopefully next week I'll give a nice extended video for our special new Planet X Moors.